but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk the beanstalk, tell Jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate boy, it's a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. College, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to say. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk the beanstalk, tell Jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate boy, it's a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. Bang out the buzzword, teaching that blind man to say. You might get the best of him, but you'll never fool me. Now, sweet talk the beanstalk, tell Jack to go and fetch your bank. Try that and upstate boy, it's a different kind of scene. Went off to college, but college done up me. Couldn't get my master's in truth and loyalty. I said, whoa, light that fuse and run. I said, whoa, I am my father's son. Light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run. Whoa, light that fuse and run.
Yo, what is up, 24/7 Buff Fandemonium? It's your boy, Swank. And here we are. It's Tuesday. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. that only means one thing. It's time for the K-Gun Report. Listen, things are going to be a little bit different tonight. We had some screwy stuff going on with the usual way that we stream, so we're going straight StreamYard tonight. And I'm going to tell you what, this is kind of makes it fun for intros and stuff, right? So usually I'd point down south and I'd say, hey, there's this twin that looks like the other twin, and he's my friend too, man. But you know what? We're going to bring him in right now. His name, Jarrod Reed. What's up, Jerry? How are you tonight? Do you got to unmute your mic?
I feel fantastic.
Oh, like I said, guys, brand new little thing we got going on here.
You know, I'm saying an ugly win is a good win for me. 4-2 Buffalo Bills. It's a great start. I can't wait to talk football with you, Scott, and our special guest when he gets here.
Ooh,
let's go.
Yeah. We're waiting on this special guest guy. I cannot wait. But before we bring him in, man, we gotta bring your mirror in, your mirror image. Your brother from the same mother, my brother from another mother, Mr. Scooter, goddamn Magooter. What's up, Scott? Here we are. Look at you, just chugging away at what is that? NA?
No, it's a good old Coors Light. It's the light stuff. Tough watch. A win is a win. We'll get into it, but I'm happy to be here to talk some Buffalo Bills football with the Bills Mafia. Welcome. Leave your comments, guys. We love them coming in. I can already see they're coming in like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Excited to move on from this weekend for sure.
So you guys can see all the comments then, huh?
Oh,
can
yeah.
You see rolling? Sweet. Well, we got your boy Lou RQ. What's up, Lou? How you doing, buddy? We got Cookie. Cookie was at that game tailgating with Jim Kelly, bro. Mm-hmm. Jim Kelly, and was it Eli Manning? This guy is a celebrity, Josh Cook. I tell you, man, he can't go anywhere. I see OJ. This dude hangs out with Jim Kelly. What the hell? We got Josh Williams. Hey, let's go Buffalo. What's up, brother? We got Casey Mafia with the red, white, and blue hearts and a little buffalo emoji. That's a great use of emojis, Casey. Nicely done. We got our boy Doug. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you, brother. We got John's. Go Bills. Go Fandemonium. Yeah, buddy. Oh, man, you guys are killing it coming in here. We got Joey Hatch. What is up? Oh, Sabres are up 2-0 on Tampa Bay. That's pretty sweet. I think this is the second game in their season. They got whooped on by the Rangers their first game. That was not very cool, but it was something. We got Chris 24/7. Dude, the emoji game is strong tonight. I love it, dude. Nice. Frank Mullen 24/7, like Steve Austin. Is that what it is? Like 316.
There you go.
Let's see, Joey. Let's go Bills. How you doing, Swank? Joey, thanks for asking, man. You know, I'm going to take the next 15 minutes and just kind of tell you how I'm doing. I'm like, I've been feeling pretty good lately, actually. No, I'm great, brother. How are you? How is your stream? Are we seeing episodes here? You guys send some stuff our way, bro. Let's see. Lou says he couldn't sleep Sunday night. Let's see. Robert, get him Bills. Look at all this, you guys. Fantastic. Thanks for hanging out. I'd love to get to more of your comments, but I got to bring in the man himself, Mr. Mark Maddox. What's up, Mark? How are you?
What's going on, guys? Not much. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you. Nice t-shirt, man.
Oh, you like that? Huh? Oh, I love it. I bet. I wonder why.
How's it been going?
It's been going good, man. I've been super busy with everything, and it's just one of those things that seems like once the season starts, it's just like overdrive for me. It's like, and I was telling someone, I'm like, I couldn't even count how many hours a week I'm doing something regarding work with the Bills or with my nonprofit. And, it's great because I get a chance to interact with a lot of people, and that's what it's about. Meeting more mafia and just enhancing that experience, not only for them to actually meet a former player, but for me to meet the people who truly care about this team, who have it runs deep in their veins. And that to me that's unbelievable. I've made so many friends out of this. It's not fanship, it's friendship, first and foremost with me.
I gotta tell you, Mark, you're such a great guy. Like, and sometimes they say like don't meet your heroes, but I know the three of us, man. You are like seriously just the greatest hang. And we really appreciate you taking the time to hang out, and we consider you a friend of ours and a friend of the show. And thank you so much.
Always.
So we got some people in the comments here hanging. Dr. Bruce saying go Bills. Everybody's saying hi to Mark, of course. Chris, the man, the legend, Mark Maddox. I like that, brother.
Nice.
Ellen Lartz says hello.
Ellen, I'll be back in November for sure.
Nice. What you got going on in November?
It's funny. I go to do the Mafia or the Bills Mafia Nation Help One events at local Bills backers places, or not just local Bill backer places on the West Coast over here. And my buddy Bob, he was going back. He set aside to go back for 2 games for 10 days. And he was supposed to, I believe, take his daughter, but somehow she couldn't go. So he invited me. So I'm back for 10 days in November. We're going to check out the Monday night game against Denver.
Nice.
Then we're going to check out the Jets game. I got to set up for the Sabres game that Tuesday. I'm going to set up a carnival night for the Boys and Girls Club of the North Towns. And one day I'm going to outside of Rochester for the school. I don't know what school it is, but Shelby Webster is at the school, and she set up something with their school, and then some event. It's like mad chaos going on. And so, and you remember that post that they posted, like, who would you want to have dinner with? The 3 Bills. I have to find that again because I know one of the ladies, and I can't remember the second one or third one. But when we get back that Saturday, we're going to plan on having like a pizza party and inviting those people so I can meet them and, hang out and chit chat and stuff like that in Buffalo.
Sounds like a busy week, man.
Oh, man.
Guess what else is going to the Monday night game?
Are you?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to be searching for you, Mark.
All right, perfect. No, deal, definitely a deal. And then I also scheduled a stadium visit Thursday, the same day that I'm doing the carnival night thing. But yeah, it's going to be a busy trip, but it's going to be worth it just to be back and to see everyone, meet everyone, and hang out.
Yeah, sounds like a great time, man. Absolutely. Scott, were you going to surprise Jerry and I with tickets, or?
No, it's actually a date night. The wife and my
date night. Oh.
And she's like, we've never been to a Monday night game, so the tickets were manageable at that point. So
yeah, there you go.
It's a Denver game, so.
Yeah. Well, let's pump the brakes on that before we got a game like that to talk about here.
What's so crazy, not to cut you off, but about the Denver game, which is good for me. I know a lot of people don't know my whole story and stuff like that, but I was married when I was back in Buffalo and ended up getting divorced and going through a nasty divorce with my ex, and her turning my kids away from me and stuff like that. So you don't get to be a part of their life or anything like that. But my son actually plays for the Broncos. He's the long snapper. He got called up last year. I still try to follow and find what I can via internet and stuff like that for my kids. Yeah. But he's going to actually he'll be playing that Monday night, so it'll be good to see him.
Yeah, that's great, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Wow,
no idea. Awesome.
Yeah. Look at that little one right there.
Yeah.
Hi.
This is what made up for all those years of heartache and and things like that. This is it right here.
Oh, yeah.
Don't look like you guys get along at all, really.
Not at all.
Well, guys, I'd be remiss if I did not remind you that we are part of the Buff Fan Base Network. Please join all of their socials. It's a great community, 150,000 strong, I believe. We're also sponsored by 26 Shirts over there by Jerry. Go to 26shirts.com. Del Reed and the gang's got all sorts of great things going on all the time, benefit charities directly affecting Western New York. It's a great time. So go check all that out. We did a little housekeeping here real quick. We have a new content creator over at 247buffandemonium.com. My brother Kyle, he is not my brother. He might as well be Kyle Gobe. He is doing a new blog called View from 142. It is a perspective of the games from his season tickets in section 142. The first one just went up right before we went live tonight, so go give my bro some love. He's been working real hard at it. It's a great read.
Oh, yeah.
Also, don't forget we got Rob Mullen putting out some heavy fire in blog status. Oh my God. Like, it's getting a lot of great attention. Go read all of it. It's super in depth, very, very good stuff. And don't forget the injury report with our resident doctor, Mr. Dr. Bruce McKellar. All sorts of great stuff happening over there. So check it out. Now, Mark, we got so much linebacker stuff to talk about here.
Oh my God.
There's like weeks and weeks of linebacker stuff we need to talk about.
Yeah. You know, watching, Milano go down from the start of the year. And I was telling people, I said, I like, oh my God, I like Terrell Bernard. I like that, he is a little undersized and stuff like that, but I like that he, I graded him really critical, because I watched the linebackers and I'm like, okay, he's attacking with his shoulders, not using his hands. That's a minus. That's a minus. That's a minus, and I like the fact that they are attacking and he's getting so much better, and one of my friends said when he had that great game, she goes, oh my God, I wonder what Mark say he did wrong now. That's what she told me. She goes, you got to stop hating on him. I'm like, I don't hate on him. I'm just critical because that was the position I played. So I look at it totally different when I see something. I don't care if you made an interception. That still means that you got one good play out of 25, and everybody only remembers the one interception, but no one remembers when you got blasted by an offensive lineman and, gave up a first down and stuff like that. So I'm really critical of them. I was really, really happy this week when Dorian Williams, he stepped in, he stepped up. They didn't give up a lot. They played really, really well as a team. And, we're missing a guy off the defensive line, then we're missing Tre'Davious. It's one of those things that this team, got to stop, boo-boo. This team is coming together with the backups. And when you have that, that's the chemistry that you need. That's what you need. You need those guys who are in the backup position, to Bella. You need the guys in the backup position to step up when things like that happen. And that's what it's about. It's about stepping up. And I really felt that, we gave up some yards. We gave up over 300 yards in this game. Okay. But guess what? It was like I said, they bend, but they didn't break, and they did everything that they were supposed to do. And they did it right, at the right time. Our offense, we weren't as productive, in the first half or even in the third quarter, but in the fourth quarter, they did what they had to do. And I think that shows the resiliency of this team. It shows what they're actually made of because they knew what was on the line if they lost that game.
Yeah.
You lose that game, you're 3-3 tied with the Jets, and the Jets have the tiebreaker because they won already. And they don't know this, at that point in time, but they know that's a possibility. And so you have to do everything you can to, overcome that. And I think this game was one of those games that it just showed you what kind of team we have because of all the injuries and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the defense has done nothing but proven themselves. I was getting a little upset with that Jags game with Ridley torching us on third down. That seems to be a struggle these last 2 weeks. But you can't say enough good about a defense that is missing Pro Bowlers all across in every depth position and starting position on the line. Daquan Jones was playing out of his mind this year. Trey White, Matt Milano. It's just these are key pieces. But I think it's a testament to McDermott's defense and how he's calling these games and putting these guys in the right spot. And the Giants still didn't score a touchdown. So you can't be upset with them. And Teron Johnson, dude, out of his mind. Just what a play on Aaron Waller. Scott, what do you think about this game?
Take a lot out of it. and there's a lot of criticism through, Bills fans are going to criticize everything. What I'm taking out of it is I feel a lot better after seeing what happened to the Eagles and the 49ers. If it was just the Bills this week, then I'd be a little more upset. But it goes to show you, and Mark knows this, every game counts. If they gave wins away, we wouldn't be playing the games every Sunday, Mondays, or Thursdays. So I'm kind of glad those other teams lost this week. It's a reality check to everybody in the NFL. You're not
Go.
you don't shoot a player underneath your belt. There might be issues with the win-loss column, and I'm glad they came out with a win. We don't normally win these kind of games in Buffalo in the past. So you have to win these kind of games, and I'm glad it turned out in our favor. But definitely a humbling game, a lot to take from it.
I think it's interesting because we were talking, right, that like everybody's complaining about an ugly win, and one of the best tweets I saw Monday was, I bet that the 49ers and the Eagles would love an ugly win this morning. And I was just like, that hits home, man. Because how, like you're saying, how many of those like drought years, EJ years, all that were, we lost that kind of game, all regularly. Take the win and know that, they're trying to get better. I'm sure that we're going to start getting to the offensive coordinator side of things and the play calling on the offense and just how lost at times it looks. It almost seems like, to me, that Josh Allen's being held back a little bit. Jerry, what do you think about this offense from this last week?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. Halfway through the game Sunday night, I think I threw a message to you guys. I want to see the old Josh Allen right now. I think they're holding him back. Let him run a little bit. He's still getting hit in the pocket when he stays in there. I mean, he hurt his shoulder in the pocket. Then he got forced outside and hurt his shoulder more. Hopefully that thing holds together for the next 15 weeks. But no, the offense is – I must say the run game looked good when they finally decided to do it. They started to do it the second half, and then all of a sudden when they got past the 50, they stopped. And then the drive stopped. And I was like, what the heck's going on? And then they started doing it to control the clock. They scored 14 points in the fourth quarter with time management and moving the ball. And it was a good fourth quarter to see. But the passing offense, I know a lot of people are focused on this too. Josh Allen is throwing to Diggs a lot and not really spreading out the wealth. But that's another thing. He's also throwing 75%. So what do you want?
What you just mentioned was so critical, because I took that from this game as that offensively, in the second half, the run game was a lot better. And if you noticed, and I've said it, and I'm still a big proponent of, they have to pull our offensive linemen. We have so many. Our runs are so much better when we're pulling offensive linemen. Okay, because they work on their feet better that way. I don't know if you guys noticed in the game when they put 76 in, and he reported eligible as a tight end so he could block the edge. And I was just like, and when they seen that, I'm like, I want to watch this. I got to watch this. I'm watching him specifically. And whoever was rushing on him at that point in time, he just stalemated at the line. He didn't get any penetration. He didn't give, he wasn't back at Josh's hip so the defensive lineman can go under or over to get to Josh or anything like that. And I think that's the problem that they're having with Spencer Brown, is that he's giving up too much ground too quick, and is forcing Josh either up in the pocket or out of the pocket, especially on that left side. But what you said about Diggs is Josh had 30 pass attempts. Okay, 30 pass attempts. Diggs caught 10. But he was targeted 16 times. Okay. And some of those times it was in the double coverage. That's not the right throw at that point in time. But I wasn't really focused. I really didn't focus on what the down and distance was. I wasn't focused on what happened to him in the pocket. As far as sometimes when you're forced in a pocket, you got to throw the ball where you're going to throw the ball. Plain and simple. Your first read or your second read. And I don't know if that was Stephon or not. I would only know that if I watched the film, and then I could see, it was his first read, and he was pressured, so he had to get the ball out. Didn't have time to go anywhere else. I understand that, and I can respect that. But when you watch that game, it was like, I understand why they don't want Josh to rush or run the ball and things like that. He could be a little bit hurt. Okay. He could be a little bit sore, and they don't want to, accentuate it and make it worse. So that could be why they're a little bit more conservative with him. But yeah, with Josh, we need some running plays in our offensive game plan to have him run the ball, because then that's going to hold linebackers. It's going to make the passing game a lot easier. And it's one of those things, like I said, I don't understand why it just seemed like Dorsey was behind in this game. In that Miami game, when he was calling that offense in the Miami game, he was 2-3 steps ahead of Miami's defense. He was all over their defense. He had a great game plan going into it. And I didn't see that against the Jaguars, and I didn't see that against the Giants.
Yeah.
It's like we were out coached.
Yep.
And so
yeah, they kept referring to that defensive coordinator too about how well of a game he's calling. Yeah. And you could tell when Josh Allen would drop back, they send a blitz that not even the fans would expect, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh crap, they're blitzing. And you could tell that the offensive line, Josh Allen, were saying the same thing. Oh crap, they're coming this time. Right. So yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. They were behind the ball a little bit.
Right. But it comes down to, it's like, and even in game preparation, that's the reason we watch film. We watch so much film so that when you're in certain things of what they do and how they do it. So it's one of those things is that they have to, he has to be more on his game plan and see what they're doing. And, those halftime adjustments, I would have really liked to see at halftime when they came back out that it wouldn't take a whole quarter for them to figure out how to get the ball down the field and score. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't take a whole quarter. It shouldn't take 3 quarters. When you're going at halftime, you come back out and you either dominate or, you don't. But they did. They grinded it out. Guys, hold on a second. Talk. I got to change some food because I'm cooking too.
You got it.
It's 5:00 here.
Hey, you got it.
Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. So when Mark comes back, I got to ask him the question. As a linebacker, play action, pass, all that stuff, play action, sweep. What is harder to defend? A run when the quarterback's under center or a run when the quarterback's in the shotgun position? Because I'm seeing a lot of plays that Ken Dorsey's drawn up out of the shotgun position. It doesn't seem to be very effective. And I'm also seeing under the center, James Cook cooking in our offensive line blocking a lot better. So remind me to ask that when he comes back. But I also want to hit on, I know our man Rob Mullen threw out there the 12 personnel and how Diggs is benefiting from that, guys. At some point, Ken Dorsey, and I don't know how proud some of these offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators are in the scheme they want to bring to the full season. But wouldn't you guys agree that, and the statistics show it, when the Buffalo Bills run the 11 personnel and up tempo, they're a lot better, a lot more efficient. When they're trying to force the 12 personnel, yes, they can drive down the field. Yes, there's some benefits, but Kincaid hasn't been involved all that much as we would like him. At what point does Ken Dorsey, the offensive coordinator, say, it's week 7, it's week 8, we need to go with what's working? And that's 11 personnel. I want to know your guys' thoughts on that, because it's a big thing. We're far enough into the season that we know we're very good with the 11 and not so good right now with the 12. What's your guys' take on that?
I'll take it first, man. It's 2023. It does not have to be all or nothing. Where is this mindset coming from where it has to be 11, 11, 11 for the last however many years, and now this is 12 because we're doing something different, damn it. Mm-hmm. It's a package, throw it in, mix it in. I can see it working. It has worked to some respect. I don't think everything's that black and white. And to the Dorsey point, I think like he's coaching to the team they're playing and not the team that he has and their potential. Yeah. We talk about it all the time. I want that dude to game plan and steamroll people. If we're talking about certain aspects of the game, they are a better running team. This is the best offensive line they've ever had in front of Josh Allen, as far as I'm concerned. Mm-hmm. They're playing very well. Stephon Diggs is a beast. He will be the first read, and he will catch the ball 10 out of 16 times if you let that happen. My biggest question is, if you're going to do that, you're going to have 12 personnel, and you're gonna run the ball a little bit. I'm all about it. Why is Latavius Murray out there for the first drive? I love Latavius Murray. Don't get me wrong. He's been playing great. But why do you not have your stud second round pick James Cook out there, who's been running out of his mind? And when you gave him chances this Sunday, he ran well, and then he was gone again. So I guess my take is it doesn't have to be 11 or 12. It doesn't have to be a hugely weighted percentage one way or the other. You can keep it close, almost as close as you do the run pass percentages, right? Where they're like both right around 49%, right? Usually, or whatever. Like, I think you can run different packages and get some creativity going here, so you're not getting stale, which it seems by week 6 here they are.
Just so you guys know, James Cook had 14 carries. Latavius Murray had 12. I'm with you, Swank. I don't know why Latavius started and why he got so many carries. Jarrod, what's your take on that 11 versus 12 personnel?
Well, our Bills are 4-2, so it might be something as simple as they just want to get a little bit of the kinks out of that 12. So when it does get later in the season, when you're pushing for a division win or a playoff spot or even in the playoffs, you have 2 11 and 12 schemes that you can come in knowing full confidence that you can pull it off 100%. So that might be a part of it. You never know. They tried the 12 this week and put in number 76, and I thought that was good. You knew they're going to run, but Swank, you brought up a good point with Cook. It's last week when 2 weeks ago when they ran Latavius Murray pretty well, I was saying maybe this is the recipe that you're going to see is them using a big guy to just pound, and then use the speed and the scat of Cook. That's got to be game to game, because if you were watching this past game, I thought James Cook's running was just zippity doo dah. He was getting through the holes and getting the yards. And Latavius Murray did have a couple good runs too. But if Cook was in that scenario where Murray was able to get through that hole, what makes you think Cook couldn't get through there faster and take off? But it's something you'll never know. And we'll just have to see what happens week 17, 18 into the playoffs to see if all this mixing and matching is what it was for, is to bring everything to a head and 100% with both schemes. We'll see.
Guys, I think the Bills should run at 11 personnel, get up on the score by 2 or 3 scores, and then drop down to 12 where they can utilize more tight ends and run out the clock.
So what do you consider an 11 personnel? Which guys? Diggs, Davis, and it's Shakir, Sherfield. I'd like to see more Sherfield out there. He destroyed it in Miami as a third wide receiver. He made the most out of his targets. And I know they tried to give him some catches, but I think I would like to see those 3 out there. Okay, with Knox and Cook.
Yep. With Knox and Cook, and then they can Kincaid can spell Knox as needed until they start introducing the 12 personnel to run out the clock and all that good stuff.
Well, in my opinion, I hear what you're saying and I like it. But you get a first round pick in Kincaid and the tools that he has, I just really feel that they really truly aren't utilizing the 12 personnel the way it could be utilized. Okay. And it's like they need more check with me's based on what they come out, what offense or what deep. Okay. So when we go 12 personnel with 1 back, 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, most defenses will play a base defense still. Okay. But they're not playing a base defense. They're still playing nickel. So if they're going to play nickel, you run the ball down their throat. Even if you have a pass play call, you have to have a running play that is going to get you a mismatch and that you should get yards. And I mean, that's where I don't think that Dorsey is really being truly, truly effective. I'll tell you right now, when we played defense and Walt Corey was I had 3 defensive coordinators and Walt Corey was number 3 on that list, and I give him a lot of credit. I love what he did, but he was number 3. Then I had Wade Phillips. Wade Phillips would have been number 2. Vince Tobin, number 1. Vince Tobin had defenses set up based on what they came out in. If they came out in one formation and we were in a zone and we seen how they line up, we had check with me. We would check out of that defense and go to something completely different based on how they lined up, so that we were always something that would relate to what they did. Okay. And so they now have to worry about us changing. So, of course, when they're calling their plays, when they see that, then they're going to have to make their adjustments and go from there. I don't see us making defenses making adjustments for what our offense is doing. They're just going out there calling their calls. You don't see them checking everything. Terrell Bernard is running around like a madman, crazed, trying to get people to understand what the call is, during the plays. He's missing a snap of balls because he's talking to the DBs or he's talking to a corner, and I think that, that's what an offense has to do. And that's what our offense should be doing, to other teams. They shouldn't be able to just line up and play against us.
Right.
They should have to line up and think about what's going to happen. Are they going to do this, or this, with this personnel?
Yeah. Well, I think this is probably the best skill position group that they've had since Josh has been there, right? Between James and Dalton Kincaid and Diggs and Davis coming in. That fumble, man, I really wish Gabe didn't fumble that ball, because I checked the list. He only has like 20 less yards than Travis Kelce. I know Kelce missed a game, but like putting that into perspective, we kind of live in our own little world here with the Bills where we're like, come on, Gabe, like whatever. And I was like, man, if he would have caught that ball, he was really making a physical play, trying to get to that chain, and then he got punched out, and then he got whacked on the patties, and you didn't really see him for the rest of the night. So
yeah. And I mean, but that's what, there's good players on both sides of the ball. That's plain and simple.
Yep.
You are, things like that are going to happen, but that's when, as a coach, you can't give up faith, because Davis has barely dropped any balls this year. He's made some spectacular catches this year, and it's one of those things where you have to keep those guys active. And like, I'm sorry, but if I was a receiver in this game last week, I would be like, I'm just out here running routes to run routes because nothing's coming my way.
Yeah.
It kind of, like I say, as a coach, you have to put your players in position to be successful. If you know what defense they're going to run, you need to have a call that's going to get you an open player here or there. Someone even said, how come they didn't throw to Cook that much? They didn't. Little swing routes out of the backfield, little things. That little swing route is nothing but a running play, but it just gives him a little bit of an advantage. But it's one of those things is that you just hope and pray that they pull it all together. We got a lot of games left. So it's all these things that are going good. You just got to get them better. You got to get better, improve each week.
That's it. It's a week-to-week league. Anything can change one week to the other. Nobody thought they would have came out and whooped on the Dolphins the way they did, and then fall flat in the Jags. I think it's just something that you got to live with until they get it right. And I hate it. I really hate it. And it's too early in the season for me to be like, we got to get out of Dorsey land. Like, he can change it around. It's not that far gone, and they're still winning games. There's a time in history where we would have been like, this is amazing. We've won 4 games. I don't care how we won them, so it just a little perspective and getting grounded a little bit.
So, like you mentioned this after the game yesterday, I think you said something along the lines of, this is the NFL. When we do our bold picks and our scores, we kind of get, hoorah for our own team. So we do like 40-0 and all this stuff but at the end of the day, these guys are going out and playing a game against a bunch of other guys who are going out and playing the game. And a game like this is going to happen. This is the NFL. This is 32 teams with the best players on there. So we can him and haw about what we thought our players should do this game. But at the end of the day, they're only out there to get a W. And that's all we should care about as teams. We could be upset that something didn't go our way, but a W is better than 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to tell you guys right now, and I told this in the Bills Mafia Babes group. When that game starts, they go out there and the record is 0-0. They don't care how many games that team has won or how many games that team has lost, because what's important is what's in front of you right then at that moment. And, we all can predict. We all can project what we'd like to see and what we should go on and stuff like that. It's just one of those things where it's an opinion. We have opinions, and everybody has a right to have an opinion on things and stuff like that. And as long as you look at it and you can see the growth, the positive of what's going on and how it's happening, that's all that matters, you know. And like you said, when you walk out of there with a victory, I don't care if it was by 1 point or by 50 points, it's a W on the board. No one's going to care about it. Oh, well, you know, they played them tight the last time. I don't care if they played them tight the last time or not. We won. That's all that matters. It's even like that, like the Jets game. I don't care that it was a close game, even though we had 4 turnovers. We lost that game, plain and simple. We lost. Doesn't matter if we were on the verge of coming back. Just look at the Giants. They could have called pass interference, you know, on that last call. And then maybe they might have tried to run the ball in, which they should have tried to do. But, you know, it's one of those things. They lost, plain and simple. That game's over, you know. And we can always look back. We can always say, what if, what if, what if. But the only thing that matters is what was the outcome. The outcome was a victory. Okay. And so I know we can talk 11 personnel because I know someone was talking about we got the second best offense with 11 personnel. Okay. It doesn't matter if we had the second best offense or the last best, worst offense. As long as those guys get out there on the field, do what they're supposed to do, that's what's going to happen. She's back again. She's back for more.
She is adorable, man.
Yeah, she is.
That's attention to the show.
Oh, Mark, I gotta ask you.
1 second. Let me see. I'm reading Rob's thing.
Oh,
yeah. It is. It is. NFL is a driven business, and it is a business, and it either works or it doesn't. And you're right. You have to do what works. But what has to happen is these OCs, offensive coordinators and defensive coordinator, it's their responsibility to put the players in the right position. Whoever you have on that field, I don't care if Diggs is out and Davis is out, and you got Andy Isabella who's brought up. You got him on the roster, and you got all these other guys. You put those guys in the right position to make plays, okay? And you go with their skill set, and you do what's best for them. You know, if you got a receiver who's 6'5", who can run and out jump with people, you put him in that position because you have faith that he's going to make that play. So you're not worried about him being double covered, you know, by 2 5'10" DBs. Yeah. You know, and so I mean, it's those things where that offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, you have to be so on your game that you put those players, those blitzes, that when you blitz as a defense, you're blitzing because you have a key that this guy should be free. Almost every blitz, they know who should be making that sack, okay, on those plays. When it comes to who actually makes the play and, you know, a base defense, that's effort. Those are effort plays. And that's where you put, but those guys know. The reason you have a defensive tackle playing a defensive tackle is because that's where he's best suited. You're not going to put him in a defensive end, okay? Yeah. But when you call your defense, where is he stronger? Is he stronger going inside or is he stronger going outside? Okay? As a defensive coordinator, I need to know if I got 2 guys that are more suited going to their left, most of the stuff and stunts that I'm going to call are going to send my linebackers and someone else to the right of them because they're stronger going this way. And so it's those things that, you know, we don't really truly think about if we're not in the game. But this is stuff that those defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators have to think about. I'm going to tell you right now, as an offensive coordinator, I'm thinking I got to help Brown and I got to help McGovern. Okay. Those 2 guys need help. Plain and simple. They give up too much ground too quick. So why do you think they put Knox in tight to chip down to help him? You know, most tight ends, and if you watch this, and this is what really it ticks me off, most tight ends, you look at Kelsey, you look at these guys, they get a free release off the ball. A free release. You know how hard that is for a linebacker or inside linebacker to have to cover?
Yeah.
It's horrible. But you look at what we have to do. We have to put Knox in tight with Brown to help Chip to slow down the rush and then release him. So instead of Knox being 15, 20 yards down the field, he's 7 to 8 yards down the field making catches.
Mm.
So, it's just one of those things. We got to learn how they have to learn how to put those players in the right position. Plain and simple.
Yep.
I'm going to say that all year.
Right. I mean, putting yourself in the right position, if you take exactly what you just said, then you need to be able to understand that Knox is now a 7 and 8 yard route, not a 15-yard route. And now Josh Allen is not getting sacked because he got a chip block and he's helping. So you have to know all that.
Yep.
And yeah, any layman out there that would be like, well, why is Kelsey down 15 yards in the zone, finding the zone? Because he's not getting.
He's running free. He's running like he was a kid in a candy store who got lucky and found some candy.
Yep. Love that take.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that quarterback only has 3 to 4 seconds, so that chip slows him down.
Yep.
Pop them all, man. Every single one of them. Just pop them.
Yeah. Joey says about Brown not being that good. Brown is just not strong at the point of attack. He has to figure out how to settle in a little bit earlier. And I think the reason is because when I watch, he's a big guy. He's a tall guy, but he plays too tall. He needs to play smaller. If he learns to play smaller and get down, he's a good run blocker. He will move you. I'll give him credit there. But when it comes to pass blocking, he's just too tall. But I blame that on the offensive coach. The offensive line coach needs to get him drop down and better on that, because you can't get bull rushed back to Josh. And if you ever watch Josh, the first place he looks to his right side to see where the rush is.
That's where he is. Yep.
And that your personnel, and he knows I have to watch that side. And I mean, that causes a lot of, quick throws, things that you don't want to see, but that's what causes it.
There you go. Mark is next year's first round draft pick, a right tackle.
Best available.
That was a pretty PC move right there.
It's got to be best available when you're picking last.
Yep.
Damn right it does.
Hey, I like it. Oh, just knows how to get us.
Yeah.
I got one more question before we move on to this Pat game here quick. Kyer Elam. What is your take on Kyer Elam? Is it time to go, or are we keeping him?
I'm a firm believer in you're there for a reason. Okay. You're there for a reason. I understand that, plays have happened. He had the pass interference, didn't he? On the one play where, yeah.
It was
And
a big one down the field.
yeah, because he looked like he stumbled a little bit, and I remember that play now, and he was chasing, and he kind of stumbled, and then he kind of went into him and didn't look back, and they got that big play on that one. The thing that I like him. I think I like all the guys on our team. They deserve to be there. I don't think it's time to go. It just comes down to proper technique, and we get so. And I've been watching like a lot of old game film from when I played and stuff like that, and it's like it's more technique and what the coaches are teaching, and then what they're doing. And his problem was he was kind of looking back, and then he kind of stumbled and lost his feet and tried to gather and catch ground. And that's what caused him to get that pass interference on that play. And, and I can understand it. I can respect it. But if you do the proper technique and what you're supposed to do, it won't happen, but it happens. Look at the league. It happens throughout the whole league. And some stuff they let you get away with, and some stuff they don't let you get away with. I wouldn't have called, I would have called pass interference on the fourth down play before I called it on Terrell Bernard on that one, because he jammed them up and turned and rode with them. Can't help that he was throwing them the ball, And so that's the kind of stuff that is kind of like, to me, is ridiculous of how the officials can make make calls and not make calls. And I said to someone, I said, the reason I don't think they call that on that fourth down pass interference is because, first of all, DB had on a white glove. White glove was on the jersey, which was white. So it blended in. So I don't think he could really see it and call it. And as far as from the other side, I don't think that official could see it from the corner too, because it was a little bit turned. So I think both of them had their backs to it. But that was more of a pass. I would take that. I would be okay with them calling that pass interference than the one on Terrell, because that was a physical play. You know, you bumped him at the line, you turned, you rode with him, and you were all over him. So they're going to give that to him. That was kind of weak in my opinion. But no, Elam, I think he has some work to do, but I think he can get the job done.
I like it. I think he's on a rookie year deal too. So what's it hurt to, to keep a guy that's got that kind of first round pedigree and potential and keep him in your back pocket? I just wish we could see him on the field a little bit more, get his feet a little bit more wet. So,
and he's only, if you watch, he's only at like a quarter of a second behind.
Yeah.
And like what Mark was saying, if he can get that step right, the turn right the other way, that makes up that quarter second. He might be a half a second ahead and start making plays. So
easy.
100%. All right, guys, we're moving forward. It's 8:47. We're going to try to wrap this up so we're not going too far into overtime here. Appreciate you giving us your time, Mark, and hanging out with us tonight. We are traveling to New England to face the dreaded New England Patriots, the dumpster fire New England Patriots at Gillette Stadium this Sunday for a 1:00 game, actually. One of the, two that are left on the schedule for the rest of the year here?
I know.
Left.
Insane. There is a lot going on with the Patriots. Some injury stuff. Belichick finally, 3 years after Brady's departure, people are saying maybe he isn't the coach that everybody thought he was. That's fun. I still think he's good, but it's still fun to hear people say like maybe he's not great. The quarterback situation's horrible. Mac Jones. There's a lot of unanswered questions, but that defense is stout and tough. I think Bill O'Brien kind of got this offense moving in a direction that we haven't seen it move in the last couple of years since Brady's departure. So it might be a little bit interesting. Mark, what are your thoughts on this game coming up this Sunday?
And I always say this: division opponents are the worst teams to play, because you have so much history with each other. And those are the games I tell people all the time. It's either close or it's a blowout. It seems to work like that. It's like it's either one-sided or it's or it's just a real close game, and any team can win. The Patriots may be 1-5. They do have some offensive issues, but I don't count them out. I still would love to, see us beat them like 35-10. That would be my score prediction for this game. But I just really want us to show up that first quarter, put up 10, 14 points right away, and let them know that, listen, we're gonna dominate you guys. We're going to dominate you.
I love it. That statement come out. We're going to do exactly what we want to do, and you can't stop us. That's what I want right now more than anything, Mark.
Yep.
Right on that. Scooter, what do you think, buddy?
I think it's what all Bills fans want to see after what they saw in Jacksonville. Ding.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, it's my turn to talk. The thing goes off. It's a get right game. I think you have to have all facets of the game functioning well. We have the excuse of traveling to London. Then we have the Monday night game with Dable coming back, and you're playing a completely different quarterback in Tyrod Taylor. He doesn't do what Mac Jones does. We know exactly what the Patriots do. And if it's Mac Jones that's the quarterback, I would hate to see Malik Cunningham come in early. I would hate to see that scrambling quarterback and a guy that doesn't force a lot of stuff could be an issue. But I want to see the Bills have a get right game. all aspects of the game for sure. Special teams, defense, and offense. It's a 1:00 game, something that us Bills fans absolutely love, and it has to happen. We have to go 5-2, and we have to start winning these AFC division rivals and AFC conference games. It's just one of those things.
Yes. I love it. What do you think, Jerry?
Yeah, you guys said it already. Get right game. It needs to be that way. If the New England defense keeps everything in front of them and Allen just marches down and takes time away, as long as it's efficient and like flawless and time consuming, I love it. I just want to see a good game, a well game put together by both sides, offense and defense. We already know McDermott has a hell of a defense. He's been doing awesome all year. I want to see Dorsey put together a nice balanced game and score on almost every possession. It doesn't have to be 2 plays, 3 plays, but I want to see 8 to 10 play drives and just pounding the shit out of them from start to finish. And Mark said 35-10. My score is actually 35-13, so we're pretty damn close to each other.
You kiss ass.
That's weird, Jared. I'm going 35-10 as well.
I'm going 34-9. Weird. No. All great points, man. I mean, it is one of those sneaky kind of games that people get in. They have like short-term memory, right? Where it's like, we just played the Giants and we were supposed to wash them, like no problem. And now here we are 2 days removed. Yep.
I'm going to tell you right now, the only people who are saying that we're supposed to wash them are fans in media and promoters.
Yeah.
The team never goes in thinking that it's a guaranteed win. I'm going to tell you that right now. The mindset is we're not going to get anything that we haven't earned. You know, if we earn it, we will win, but it's not going to be handed to us. And that mindset, no, people could care less about what people say. And the worst part is when everybody makes you the underdog. When everybody makes you the underdog and you hear that, it's like they don't even think we have a chance. They don't even know us or what we're capable of. And these guys are thinking right then and there, we know what we have to do. We go out there, we play our game, and we execute. When it comes to game day, first, be prepared. Next, limit your mistakes. Next, execute. That's all you can do. And if you do those 3 things, you're most likely going to be successful. Okay? You win more battles than you lose. As a linebacker, I wanted to grade out 80% or better. Okay? That means on 10 plays, I wanted to have even if it's just hitting an offensive lineman, as long as I smacked them in the mouth where I was supposed to and had gap control, even though I didn't make the play, I was successful. Mm-hmm. And if we get everybody on our team at 80% plus, we're going to be successful. You know, that's why we grade ourselves. That's why we do that stuff. And that's why when it comes to what other people think is going to happen in that game, we're only concerned about what we can do. That's it, what we can do. You know, and I know you talked about the London game. Yeah, I think that you got to look at their last 2 games, London and the Giants. A night game, you're playing at midnight. The game is over at 11:45, 11 o'clock at night. You're usually asleep at that point in time. You're not in that situation. And then to compound it, you just had to go to London. Okay. And then you come back, you're losing time coming back, you know, you gain time, but still, you know, you lost it going there, coming back. That is so hard. That is so hard for those guys. You know, the game is on here at 6 o'clock in the morning. For me, it was on at 6:30, I think it was. And, you know, you're thinking about that. These guys, that whole thing was just crazy the way it worked. Look at Tennessee, how they were. And they went on a Friday and they were talking about how lethargic and how slow they looked and everything like that from the time change. I don't know when the Ravens went, but they were there well before, you know, before the Titans. And it showed that they were more attuned at the start of the game. You know, it does. That stuff plays a lot. People don't understand. We have routines and you go through that routine. Saturday you're gonna go or Friday you go through this here. Saturday you have your walkthrough. You go, you get on a plane, or you go, you get ready, and then you go to the hotel. And then Sunday you get up, you go through your routine, then you go to whatchamacall. And you want it to be at 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning because that's what you normally do. It's the same thing. Like night games are always the worst because once you have to leave the hotel, it's like, what am I going to do with my time now? What am I going to do with my time now? What am I going to do? On the road, it's easy because you're stuck. But when you're at home, it's different because now you have things that you can do. And you want that routine. That routine is so critical. And when you're flying overseas like that, it can ruin it. And, and then coming back. Look at these two games. I think that had a big factor in the way the Bills perform. Not only, I still think some of it's play calling, but some of it is, the time and the change and all of that.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. My whole point with the people saying we should have beat them by a huge margin last week was that, like, then we got a little humbled. Everybody kind of came down to earth, and it was panic mode. Like, oh, what are we going to do? The offense, blah, blah. And now here we are at Tuesday, and they're saying the same thing about the Patriots. Well, we're going to wash them. And it's like, calm down. Everybody is in this league. They're all professionals. It's every given Sunday. It's a week-to-week league. All these buzzwords that we hear all the time. And here we are getting wrapped up in that hype again to say we're going to go in there and beat them by 70. Yeah, Jerry. I'm talking to you.
Not 70.
No.
It would be nice, that's what I would love to see. I think our offensive is capable of doing that to them, and that's what I would love to see. And I think our defense is capable of holding them to 10 points. Like I say, they got a lot of injuries, they got a lot of stuff going on. You want to take advantage of it. And as a coach, you want to make them you want to take advantage of it. Plain and simple. When a guy's down and they got someone else in, oh yeah, we're going to take advantage of this. You put an offensive lineman in there who hasn't played, oh, you want to attack him and just beat the daylights out of him.
Mm-hmm.
It's plain and simple, but is, like I said, it's one of those things that we got a great team. We have a great team, and it's a matter of just putting it all together. You talk about how people think after the first game. I'm seeing comments. Is Josh the one to get us to a quarterback or get us to a Super Bowl? No, he's not. I'm like, it's one game. I'm like, and you're saying that it's one game. I said, I'm like, oh my goodness, you guys kill me. And then, and then we lose the one game against the Giants. I said, listen, Marv Levy put it like this here. When we go into the season, our season was 16 games. So his philosophy was a little different. Marv's strategy was this. We need to win 3 out of our 4 games. Our first quarter, our second quarter, our third quarter, and our fourth quarter. If we go 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, we're 12-4, we're in the playoffs. Okay? That's our goal, to get in. And this is how we get in. We do better than that, we're happy. But that's what you call. I have a question for you, Mark. Does the team make the travel ratings, or does the league make the travel ratings? Team does. Team decides what they want to do when they want to do it.
We saw a comment from the commissioner saying that he wanted to see the social experiment with traveling, with Jacksonville being there for 10 days compared to Bills coming in. Do you think the team actually had to say this time around, or did they abide to what Goodell wanted to happen?
If the commissioner said that, then I think he wanted them there for 10 days. Okay, the 10 days gave them the opportunity for the first game. So the first 2 teams there were there 2 or 3 days before the game.
Mm-hmm.
If that is something that he said, Nate, that they wanted to see, I think I call BS, because you shouldn't be experimenting with teams and what they're trying to accomplish throughout the year. You let them set their roster or set their travel dates and do what they want to do. Because like sometimes I know some points where there were teams who played on the West Coast and had 2 West Coast games that they would stay for the week instead of coming back home and then flying back out because of the flight. And you got to think about that. That's 2 West Coast games that a team decided they wanted to stay so they could get acclimated.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at us flying all the way to London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that shows you how important getting acclimated to time and schedule is.
Right.
100%. When all the little stuff that you guys do to prepare for games, right? Like, and like you're saying, how the routine is so important, and your diet, and your training, and your every little piece of it, and how the sports science is so just meticulous. And then you're like, okay, now get on a plane and fly 8 hours across the ocean. Like, and when you put it in that kind of perspective, it's like, oh yeah, well, I guess maybe this is a little uncomfortable. It might be a little unsettling.
Yep.
Might not get the result you want.
Well, to throw my 2 cents in there too, people are saying, "Well, why did they travel before Friday?" You got to understand that these athletes, they are so routine that their rehab on Monday and Tuesday at the facility that they're used to rehabbing at is there, and I'm not pretty sure that London doesn't have those that kind of facility with their people there earlier in the week. So you stay, you get your rehab, you get your therapy Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then you make the travel arrangement for Friday. I read that and I was like, that makes complete sense. It's all about it's a habitual thing.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to get out of your routine. You want to stay in your routine. But when you do travel places like that, they do find accommodations for all the stuff that you would need, medical, training, and stuff like that.
All right, guys, as Dr. Bruce and Lou RQ have alluded to, it is overtime right now. It's 9:02. So we're going to go around and do our bold predictions, and then we'll do an X Factor score prediction. So, Mark, you have a bold prediction for this game coming up here this Sunday?
Bold prediction. If Diggs get targeted 16 times, he better have 3 touchdowns this week. I'm predicting 3 touchdowns for Diggs, okay? Right away, because that's the only person Josh is throwing the ball to 3/4 of the time. So 75% of the balls are going to Diggs, and he better have 3 touchdowns. And like I said, I still think the score will be 35-10. But my X factor is the defense. The defense is playing really well, and they are giving up some yards, but they're not breaking. They're holding when they need to. Hold the line when it's critical, and they are doing that. And I have faith that they can do it again.
Yeah, Mark, I just put $100 on Diggs scoring 3 touchdowns on DraftKings. So
let me know what our payout is.
That's right.
I'd happily give you some of that.
All right, Scott, hit me with your bold and your X and your score.
My bold prediction is going to be a shutout. I think this Mac Jones is going to start. I think he's going to have a problem. Like I said, it's not the kind of adjustment that the Bills defense had to make with Tyrod Taylor coming in, spelling Daniel Jones. I think we know exactly what we get with Mac Jones, and I think the pressure is going to be brought. So I'm going 0 points. I don't often do that, but it's very hard to do in the NFL. But this is a shutout that we're going to have. X factor, I got to go along with 0 points. It's going to be the defensive line in the trenches, how they're able to handle the Patriots find ways. For some reason, they still find ways to be able to move the ball. But I think McDermott is on his game. He's now got a 1:00 game, and I think this defense is going to be pumped and ready to go. They've shaken off that London rust. And then my score prediction, 35-0.
Damn. All right, Jerry, what you got?
So you already know my score prediction, 35-13. My bold prediction is Allen's going to throw for over 83% completion percentage. And then the X factor is going to be Allen's field vision. I know he's been a little tunnel vision with Diggs. He missed a couple swing passes, as Mark mentioned earlier, to Cook coming out of the backfield and stuff like that. But I think Sunday at 1:00, he's going to be able to see the whole field. And that's going to be the X factor, is him dumping and getting back to hitting 9 receivers or 9 targets, 9 individuals.
I like it. 9 individuals.
There we go. Targets, receivers, individuals. There we go.
As long as they're wearing Bills jerseys.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, I like it. My bold prediction here is that Gabe Davis rights his wrong from this week, and you're going to see close to 100. I'll give him 75 yards and a TD this week. That's what I want out of Gabe.
Mhm.
And that'll keep me happy moving forward into next week. My score prediction, I'm going to go 27-13. I think I went a little too wild last week, and I've come back down to earth. Usually I'm the one that's non-homerish, but I got involved in the hype, so coming back down to reality. My X Factor, man, Ken Dorsey. Let's see what the hell he can do to adjust and move forward, and I want to see a nice balanced attack. So I think Ken Dorsey's game plan is the biggest X Factor heading into this week. And there you have it. All right, we got a couple. Let's see. Rob Mullen says X Factor Allen limit the turnovers at his improvisation pulls this out. Okay. Lou RQ 21-7, no score first quarter. Allen 22-25 passing attempts. X Factor Floyd another sack. Floyd is a beast, man. I love Floyd.
Will we re-sign him next year?
I want it. I want to. 2-year, 3-year, whatever. I don't care. He's been great.
Yes.
Alan Lartz already said 28-10. Bills X Factor refs and BS calls. The beautiful Alan Lartz weighing in. Joey Hatch, Bills 27, New England 14, one coming during garbage time. For New England, I'm guessing. Yeah, all right. All right, let's go across the AFC East here. We already got the Bills and the Patriots, of course. We have Dolphins at Eagles. That's the Sunday night game.
That's a good one. That's a good Sunday night game.
Yeah. What do you think, Mark? Oh, you're muted.
Hey, I wasn't the only one today.
I was yelling at kids, so I didn't want you to hear me. No. I bowl with a guy who is a huge Phillies fan, so I'm going with the Phillies.
Right.
It should be a good game. Philly does have a really good defense. Their defense is really good, so I predict Phillies over Miami, and that's just not because I hate Miami, but
a little bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Scooter?
I think Miami struggles against teams that actually have winning records.
Yeah,
and they're not going to be able to pick on the Eagles like they have any of these other teams except for the Bills. Obviously, I'm going Philadelphia. I think they have all the right personnel to defend this potent offense. Philadelphia.
Scooter. Jerry?
Same thing. No, I'm going with the Eagles. I don't know if you guys know this, but the opponent record that the Miami Dolphins have played, they're 5-1, but their opponents are 9-25. The only team they lost to was a team with a winning record, our Buffalo Bills. So we'll see what happens this week. I'm thinking the Eagles are going to pull it off.
All right, well, since I am sucking hind teat and I am the last in the standings and I am the reigning champion from last year, I'm going to go Dolphins begrudgingly, and I hope I'm more wrong, and I don't care if I'm in the basement. So there you go.
Sucking hind teat. Oh, man.
Run of the litter.
The Jets must be on a bye this week, huh?
Yep.
Oh, all right. Let's see. Get a couple other games here.
Let's do it. Is Arizona playing?
They are. Let's do Chargers Chiefs. We'll get an AFC one in here. Go ahead, Jerry. You started off.
I don't know. Kansas City always starts out this way, and it gets all those fans talking about how they're not as good as they always think they are, but then they usually come through. So I think they're still a pretty good damn team, and they figure out a way to win, but I think the Chargers are going to pull this one off.
Oh, all right.
Oh, there it is. Mark always says it. These division games are something that is less desirable when it comes to picking these guaranteed games. I'm going with the upset as well. I will go Bolts over the Chiefs.
Mark?
Well, I don't really like them. I just don't like them, but they find ways to win even when, things aren't working in their favor, and I'm going Chiefs.
Yeah. I think, are you guys like, is this take pity on Swank pick? I'll go Chiefs 100%. Give me another win.
Check up Swank a little bit. See, something didn't for us last year at all, but whatever.
Joey Hatch says, well, Jarrod, Taylor Swift can't save Kansas City every game. LOL.
True.
I knew someone would bring her up.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. You can't go one without it. All right. What one did you wanted? Cardinals at Seahawks? NFC game? All right. We'll do it for you, Jerry. Cardinals at Seahawks. Mark?
Oh, my God.
Now, listen, you got to take some factors into consideration here.
Here's my factor. Okay. And this is really bad. I've played for both teams. Okay. I only played for two teams, so I'm fortunate. And I don't know what's wrong with the Cardinals. It's like, I don't get it. You know, they were supposed to be so promising, and it's like nothing. You know, they haven't stepped up to the hype, and it's just really crazy. And Rob, I agree with you. I'd pick the Seahawks. I'm sorry, I picked the Seahawks before the Cardinals. I pretty much picked every team that's playing the Cardinals, and that's sad. That's
Hey, Jerry,
really sad.
That's a clip for next. That's a clip for next one. Yeah, clip that one up.
Yeah, that's really sad. I have, and and it's like I feel bad because I was on that team. My last year. We were 3-13. We were 2-13 going into the last game of the season. But we won, and so. But it's one of those things, and and someone counted us out that last game. But guess what? Don't ever count anyone out.
Yeah.
And so, but the Seahawks always play them, and they play them tough. And I just don't think Arizona is. It's coaching. They got the new coach, and they got a lot of stuff that they're working out and trying to deal with. They got to build that team camaraderie. Especially with a new coach coming in. They just got a lot of stuff that they got to deal with, and it's not helping them right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going off what Mark's saying. Arizona has a lot of improvements, and you could see it for sure. And Seattle's a team that has all the talent in the world. I think they just come off a tough loss. I don't see them losing this game. I'm picking Seattle.
Jerry?
I was hoping Mark would go with Arizona because that's who I was going to go with. So I'm going to go because Mark used to play with him, number 53. Let's go Arizona.
See, Jerry tries to do this thing where he's like, hey, let's do this because he has some hidden agenda underneath.
It backfired.
I'm going to go Seahawks. No problem.
No problem.
Not a problem.
No problem. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it here for us tonight. Want to thank Mark so much for being a guest again. Thank all you guys in the comments for killing it. We'll run around and do our final thoughts here, and we'll see you, noon, 11:30 for Sunday sessions, Scooter?
Yep.
We're doing them 11:30. Oh, my God. I can't believe it. Awesome. Mark, give us your final thoughts, brother.
Final thoughts is Cardinals suck. No,
that's another clip. That's another clip.
No.
I'll add that.
No, final thoughts is, I'm really happy, and I'm proud of what this team has done so far this year. And I know there's a lot of room for improvement, and I really see that happening. And I think Dorsey is getting more comfortable than he was last year, because I can already tell by some of the play calls and selection that he's doing things that I noticed that I thought should have been done last year that are being done this year. So my thought is that this team has what it takes to reach the top. And I just want to see them continue to improve each week, because that's our goal, is to get better and better and better each week. That stepping stone, one step at a time, and don't look past that step in front of you.
I love it. I love it. Scooter, buddy, what do you got?
That stepping stone, one step at a time, 1 week at a time. It is a long season. And let's not forget, fans, that McDermott is in his first year of calling this Buffalo Bills defense. And Ken Dorsey really is in his first year of trying to explore to see what this 12 personnel would look like under Kincaid and Dawson Knox. He tried a little bit last year. Obviously, they didn't get the guy that they wanted. They're still learning. I could see that. We can all see that with a different kind of gameplay that they're bringing every week. So one game at a time. We got to be patient. It's 1:00 p.m. Sunday game. We all have our rituals. We'll see you on Sunday sessions. 24/7 Buff Pandemonium's pregame show. Again, part of the Buff Fan Base Network and sponsored by 26 Shirts. We have our friend Ryan Thomas joining us as always. Let's talk about it. I can't wait to see you guys then. Go Bills.
Go Bills indeed. Jerry, what do you got for final thought, my friend?
Yeah, everybody have a great week. And Sunday, 1:00, New England Patriots, a rivalry game. We all get a little bit more crazy for this game. Wake up, get your coffee, and get your rituals going. And we'll see you all for that Sunday session, 11:30, to see who's active and inactive. And the guys get some last-minute chatter about this Buffalo Bills team. 1 week at a time, 4-2. We're 4-2, guys. See you next Tuesday. Go Bills.
Love it. Mark, does your daughter have a final thought? Oh, you're muted.
She got her tablet.
Oh, hold on. They want you to say something.
Nope.
Nope.
Smiling. No, we'll take it.
We'll take a smile. Heck yeah.
Oh my God, I'm still muted. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
you were.
Okay, listen, I need you guys to give me a hey.
Hey.
What's up, Bella?
All right.
We went to the game. We went to one of the backer places, and we're like,
There it is.
and that's all I was hearing. We were coming home. Hey. Let's go, Buffalo.
It's easy and effective.
There it is. It's contagious.
All right. Yeah. That's her final thought.
There you go.
I love it. All right, guys. My final thought, take it 1 week at a time. It doesn't get much better than where we're at right now. Again, I reference it almost every week, but there was a 13-year span where like it wasn't quite as fun as it is now. You gotta love this team. You gotta respect where it's going, trust the process, and move forward and just have fun. Have fun making these memories, because these are the games you're going to tell your kids about. Don't forget, you can join us every single Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here for the K-Gun Report on the Buff Fan Base Network, sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com and buy everything. Sign your whole paycheck over there. It goes to a great cause. You'd probably blow your money. Just give it to them. It'll be great. Other than that, you know what? Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go